with that, I'm wondering if you've considered giving your halftime speech as your pregame speech.
I don't know if I could do it twice. It wasn't a lot of X's and O's at halftime. It was more challenging guys to just do a better job at what we needed to do, and especially on the defensive end. I didn't think offensively we weren't that bad, but defensively we were just not active, not moving, not guarding, and when a guy can drive from 30 feet in and shoot a layup, that tells me we're not as dialed in as we need to be.
Did it remind you of Indiana? Did it feel like an Indiana hangover?
Yeah, a little bit. And the funny thing is, I thought we had really, really practiced well the 2 days leading in, but we just hopefully we can learn with two first halves like this. And but I do give our guys credit. I thought we came out second half and played with just a lot more energy, a lot more passion.
Triple-double by Jaquan, he said that the coaches made him aware of it. Do you ever keep track of that stuff yourself, or is that for your assistants?
I had no idea. There had to be those guys. I was really happy for Jaquan. He's been working really hard, and as I told the guys at halftime, we got 14 rebounds, and he's got 10 of them.
I was going to ask you that, too. When you see that stat at halftime as a coach, are you saying wow or ugh?
Ugh. Yeah. That's with the length and what we've got on this team, we have to do a better job rebounding basketball. I think that we've shown that when we rebound the ball effectively, we're pretty good. And I give Jaquan credit though. He's realized, hey, if I can go in and get it, I can start the break. And Evan figured that out, and D'Angelo figured that out last year.
That I think yesterday you said Jaquan had been having games where he'd have like 13 assists and 4 points. Or 29 points and 2 assists.
It's like I got a crystal ball.
Right.
Yeah.
Not that he's going to go out and get a triple-double every night, but I assume that's the kind of well-rounded game you were talking about yesterday. Yeah,
just kind of putting it together, and I think with the 11 assists, you look at guys were making shots around him, and guys were moving off the penetration, and that's being tuned into the game. Guys were running harder in the second half in transition, which really opened up a lot of things. But no, I was, like I said, I was very pleased to see him play at that level tonight.
You went to the lineup with Jaquan and AJ together there a little early tonight after toying with it there with Indiana. Is it something you did to try to give him a spark? Or
yeah, because I know this about AJ. AJ is going to go in. He's going to play as hard as he possibly can, and I told him, I said, look, you're going to go in and guard the guy that has all their points right now. Do not let him score. And, he hit a pull-up three on him, but I thought that really kind of ignited us, and Jaquan was playing so well that we wanted to keep him off. So fortunately for us, we'd gotten some runs with it Sunday.
Second consecutive game against Rutgers with a triple-double. Is there something about them that you've been able to exploit when you look over there?
No, I don't think so. It was one of those where Jaquan was kind of in a groove, and a lot like D'Angelo was last year in terms of what he got done out there.
Coach, you mentioned what you said at halftime and whatnot, but what was different? I mean, the energy seemed to be different. It seemed to be a different team almost.
Yeah, I probably can't repeat what I said, but it was just let's go now. But I say that of we have to play. We have to compete. I want you guys to compete harder than you just compete. I want you to compete as a team, more together. Just in terms of all the things we practice, just put it to use there.
Thad, when you have a guy play the way that Jaquan played today, I'm just curious maybe how you handle that moving forward. Is he the kind of guy that understands kind of instinctively that when he plays that way, not necessarily triple-double, but just is playing that way that he can sort of carry this team and spark other guys and lead you to games? Or do you need to sit down with him and explain to him, like, hey, when you do this, we're really good?
I hadn't thought that far ahead. I don't know. I mean, I think this, as I told him at halftime, all I want is for each of you to play your best basketball. And I think that's something that when you have a young basketball team, as I talked to them afterwards, you've got to constantly study your preparation in terms of getting yourself in a state of mindfulness of what you have to do, from scouting to what we're trying to do offensively in the game plan, and there's an art to that, and I think that as guys get older, they gain more experience. They can learn that better. But guys have to take more pride in getting themselves ready to play at the level that we need them to play at.
So when you go home from this game tonight, I'm just wondering how you feel. I mean, you got the win. You win by 26. Have the big second half. Do you go home feeling like, all right, we got it going. We figured it out, they responded, or are you like, guys, we gotta do this for 40 minutes? I mean, I'm just curious. I mean, it's a decisive win, but
right. Well, I think this. If I would have said to you guys, hey, I'd like to be 4-1 on January 13th and November in the Big Ten, you'd have been like, yeah, like that's going to happen. And I think. With that said, I like the position we're in. Now we've got 2 more road games in a swing. I was telling David Egelhoff before, every game we've played in the Big Ten so far, with the exception of the first one, every team we've played has had an extra day of prep for us, which is really odd. But I think with that said, I'm excited that we won the basketball game. I'm a little bit drained, but we've got to told them that we just got to keep finding ways and challenging and accept the challenge of practice, accept the challenge of preparing for games, accept the challenge of warming up and getting yourself ready to play.
Coach, after, the last 2 games, you just kind of answered it, but, putting together the second halves that you did, what kind of confidence level do you think that it's achieving in the locker room and obviously, for these guys moving forward for the rest of at least the next couple tough games you got on the road?
Yeah. I don't know. I don't think in today's modern era of college basketball that you can never have a ton of confidence, because the next game is always going to be challenging. I think what I'm searching for is that button that I push that says, hey, we're ready to play. And I've always said this, I want guys not so much confidence in themselves, but confidence in the system, confidence in what we're trying to do, confidence in each other. When you have that, I think good things happen.
Thad, I know last year there were nights where you could just saddle up and ride D'Angelo. You had 6 guys in double figures tonight. I know Mark's probably considered the leader by the team standards, but could you just talk maybe about the different dynamic this year when it's almost different guy every night as opposed to last year?
Yeah. In some ways I like that about this team. But going back to what I talked about at halftime, what I ultimately want from this team is each guy to play his best basketball. And as I told him Monday, when we won 7 straight games, not every guy played real well in there, but other guys carried their weight. I think a coach's dream is when you look out there and guys are doing what they're supposed to do and how they're supposed to do it. That to me is what ultimately we're after. I like the fact that we got some different guys that can kind of get on a roll. We've sort of shown that with a lot of different leading scorers, and hopefully we can continue that. Thanks, guys.